it is true that the National Guard, as we saw in D.C., will be a restraining force against criminals. But the criminals are not going to come out to Pioneer Square in Portland, Oregon, if the Guard's standing there. The dope dealers aren't going to come out. The gangs on the south side of Chicago aren't coming out armed to the teeth if the Guard is there. So yes, that is an unintended good consequence of these orders, and President Trump knows it. So we want to be fair and honest here. And joining us now from New York City is Rebecca Rose Woodland. She is a powerhouse attorney in New York and knows the Constitution very well. And we're pleased to have her back. All right, am I making any mistakes here, Counselor?
You are absolutely not making any mistakes. You're almost understating the fact that the president, under the Insurrection Act, has the right to determine, and I'm going to state, determine and define what insurrection, rebellion, and domestic violence is. He is the deciding factor. No one else.
Okay.
Not the courts, not
so
the
you
state
and I,
authority. If
you
the
and I
president
agree.
determines,
all right. You and I agree, and so does
Absolutely.
so most of the people watching all around the world today. We agree that that the president has the authority, but judge after judge after judge after judge after judge tried to block presidential authority in this matter. Why do you think that is?
No, this is all political. I mean, these people are standing on weak political grounds. These are Democrats that want to oppose the president any way they can. Legal, unlegal, lawful, unlawful. This is unlawful. They're just clogging the courts with useless cases. Taxpayer money is being spent. The Department of Justice is having to spend time opposing these motions when the Department of Justice and Attorney General Bondi, Kash Patel from the FBI, should be working on other issues that are facing this country. The incredible drug trade coming in that they're trying to prevent and halt. But no, they're wasting time. The president has the absolute authority. The Supreme Court said in the 1800s, the president had the authority and the right to define what insurrection is. And if the president sees an insurrection, he can go in with the Guard to quell it and to organize it for then the troops and the other, criminal law enforcement authorities to come in and then, as you said, effectuate arrests.
Okay.
This has been since the 1800s.
Homeowners, when is the last time you checked on your home title? If your answer is never, then this is for you. Scammers are stealing titles, and your equity is a target. Criminals forge your signature. Just like that, your home title can be transferred out of your name. That's why I partnered up with Home Title Lock. So you can find out today if you're already a victim. Please use my promo code BILL at HometitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report. Plus, you will get a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts of any changes, and if fraud does happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code BILL. Just as a historical aside, that was done. All of those things were done because after the Civil War and the Union's victory, a lot of people in the South weren't going to obey. They were just going to persecute the blacks and keep them down and hurt them and hang them. And so the federal government had to intervene, and then U.S. Grant had to go in and destroy the Klan, not with militia, not with National Guard, with troops. But then we see all throughout history, in the 50s with Eisenhower, in the 60s with Kennedy. So there is no doubt about the fact that the president of the United States, it could be anybody, Barack Obama took over the New Orleans Police Department, has the power to do this. But it's morphed, and I want to get your personal opinion on this. You and me are correct, and the Supreme Court is going to rule in President Trump's favor. And the quicker it gets there, the better to put this all to bed. But this is now morphed into the king thing, that that he's authoritarian, that he's a fascist, that he's illegally using troops to come in to LA, to Portland, to Chicago, on and on. And it has taken deep root in the minds of some Americans. They don't understand what the Constitution is. And I'm not faulting them. They're not taught it in school. Constitution, nobody's teaching it anymore. They don't know what's in it. They don't know what the Rebellion Act is. They don't know what the Insurrection Act is. They don't know anything. All right? They hear. But the media has picked up this theme, authoritarian, Nazi, this, that, and they push it every single day. And then when they lose, Rose, which they will, media is going to ignore that and go on to the next accusation. And do you have anything to add to that soliloquy? Because I'm
in New York on Saturday. I saw all of these protesters, and I tried to ask some of them, what was the king aspect in their opinion, in their terms? And they just kept reiterating the rhetoric without understanding any of the background. No,
they don't know.
They didn't know at all. And I look, Bill, I agree with you. I think that this is an organized effort to just discredit the president without any factual basis.
And it's working to some extent. When you get 7 million people out there thinking that he's a king, that organization that they have put together with a lot of Soros money, they're making some inroads. Rose, thanks very much. I really appreciate it.